Hey guys, today let's understand date and date hash functions in Qlik with an example. So I have the sample data. So I have an unformatted date, just a number, general format date, and then a proper date in a particular format. This is in month, date, year format, and I have a couple of other fields. Okay, so we'll see how to handle these two dates using date hash and date, and we'll do other couple other date related transformations. Okay, so let me go back to Qlik and let's pull this data. So I have this library connection. Let me pull the data from this Excel. So as you could see, I have this four columns. Okay, so we have two um, date functions. One is date hash, another is date. Okay, so so let's take this example, right? Unformatted date. So this field, let me reload this. Okay, so unformatted date, it could be anything from the source which is not captured as a date. So date hash is used to capture those columns to convey to Qlik to treat this as a date. Okay, so if Qlik is not able to recognize this field, and we are explicitly informing or making Qlik to understand this is a date field which is coming in this format, and treat that as a date. Okay, so for such cases we will go with date hash. But columns like this, which is already in a proper date, but still you want to convert this into some other format, then we can go with the date function. Okay, but if the field is not already in proper date data type, then we'll go first convert that into date using date hash. Okay, so let's convert this unformatted date into a proper date first. Okay, so I'll say date hash comma, I have to give the format in which my source is. So it is in this format, right? Year, month, date. Okay, so year, month, date. It should be in single quotes. Okay, so I'm in, yeah, I'm giving a heads up to Qlik to saying this particular field is actually a date which is coming in this format, so treat this as a date, and that's what date hash is going to do. Okay, so we'll call this as, or I would say this is formatted. Okay, so which is formatted date now. So I'm informing Qlik that this is a date field which is coming in this format. So treat this as a date. Okay, so that is what date hash is going to do. So on top of that, I'm going to say after you recognize this field, then convert this into date. So this is what date is going to do. So date is now going to um, convert this into a proper date, right? And I'm not mentioning any format over here. So if I don't specify any format here, it's going to take the default date format which is defined over here in the main sheet. If not, I can define my own format. Okay, so we'll see both the cases. So the first one will going to pick the format defined in the main. The second case will go with my format, right? So I will say date, month, year. Okay, so I'm giving this format for the date. In the first case there is no format defined. Okay, and I will call this as custom date. Okay, let's quickly refresh. Okay, so you could see the formatted date return it went with my format which is defined in the main statement, right, in the main sheet. So which is triple M double D. Okay, so month, date, year. Whereas this custom date went with my format, whichever I defined. So date, month, year. Okay. So that is the role of date hash and date. Okay. So date hash is to recognize this field which is not in date format. So once it is recognized, once Qlik understands it's a data, then we can use date function to manipulate the formats. Okay. But if the field is already in a proper format, like say order date, right, which is already in a proper format, so I don't need, we can skip the date hash part. Instead, I can directly go with date. I can define any format I want, right? Let me go with the same format. Okay, so here date hash is not required. I can directly go with the date since the order date is already a proper date field. So now let me say custom order date. Okay, let me quickly reload this. Okay, so we could say this is this order date. Sorry, this order date is converted to this format, right? So we will also see a few more date related operations. Let's say we can derive year out of this date. So I can use year function, order date. So which will return my year part of this. It will return only the year portion of this date, or I can take the month portion, which will be order month. Okay, so let's quickly reload and check. Yeah, so we got the year, we got the month. So similarly we can do all other data operations, but the basic is I think, hope you guys understood the um, functionality of date and date hash and how to use and where to use, right? So if there are any clarifications, please feel free to let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching.